Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to everyone. This is Sagitnet 2, the next day after a dyno session, part 2. You probably have seen it, or some of you have seen it. Water overflowing. And this is the first thing I check. I thought about it last night before I went to bed, and man, I think the head gasket have lifted. I saw it on the I saw it before the end of the run. I said, man, I'm gonna end up changing a head gasket on this one. So when I got home, I was thinking about it, things I have to do, and I know it's coming from the head gasket. That's the only logic explanation of it, but no biggie. So this morning I'm all geared up to go ahead and do the diagnosing and all that, and guess what I have found? The radiator cap. It was positioned like that. Yeah, I added some water in it and everything, and apparently I did not fully secure it. So for some of you guys that getting ready to hit the dyno, always check your equipment. Yeah, learn from my mistakes. Yeah, it can happen to anyone. And also there's a lot of things in here that I forgot to mention. Those bolt plug for the balance shaft, yeah, it was loose. Good thing it didn't show anything when first time I hit the dyno. That is the reason why I have these oil spots in here. For some of you that have seen this cardboard, and I want to pinpoint where it's coming from. And finally I got tired of it. Got tired of seeing it every time I was gonna move the car back out. This one right here, I said, wait a minute. So I finally checked it out, and yeah, I found it to be loose. All you need is just a few turns by hand. Sure enough, man, it's a good thing it didn't came off. It only leaks I guess after I have parked it, whatever oil was collected within that area, and then start oozing out. Anyway, let's check the water. I know it needs some, but lucky for me, that was just a retune, and he only did like maybe 3 or 4 runs, and that's just about it. Otherwise, man, if that was a fully dyno session, this thing would have been dead. I'm gonna talk about a little bit about oh, I went too much. See if I can get the air out. I know it's gonna have a yeah, there's some air in it. Okay, I have to modify this radiator cap, remember, because it's hitting this. So one side is shaved, as you can see right there, compared to this side. I'm not sure if I have mentioned that to any of my episode. There you go. Yeah, I needed to give it another turn. There you go. That's fully secured. That's how it should be. A big shout out to David, Import Auto Pros. Yeah, he just tremendously. He exceeded all my expectations. Very professional. If anything wrong with your motor, he will try to help you out. So the first thing that happened, he put it on the ramp. First run, no VTEC. He shut it down and told me, hey, there's no VTEC. So apparently something that I did when I removed the transmission, it looks like that I have been driving around town, putting some mileage on the new McLeod clutch that I just put on with the VTEC solenoid disconnected. He connected back in and he went on his way. And for the exhaust, my DIY 3-inch exhaust. It sounded not bad at all. That exhaust, now it's proven. I lost 1 horsepower adding that exhaust. He explained to me what happened when I made some changes. So when he hooked up his O2 sensor to do his do the tuning, he said that it went rich. So by just scaling it down a little bit, boom, it went up from 216, it went up to 219. That was pretty good. But remember, I lost 1. It decreased the wheel horsepower. So maybe if I didn't make a changes, this thing would have pushed like 220. I would have squeezed more. Well, it will be additional 3 wheel horsepower, but that's okay. Like I said before, whether it decrease or increase, it's a good experiment. If you have a motor, your setup went to a dyno session and you're happy with it, do not make any changes at all. And if you're not thinking about going back to a retune, then there is no way of knowing that you are making an additional or you are decreasing your horsepower of your motor. But remember why I changed the muffler, because of it's a little bit too loud for me. When I have the turbo on there, it doesn't sound as loud as it was before I made some changes. Yeah, it was setting up a car alarm here in my neighborhood, and I wasn't really even stepping on it. So I have to tone it down a little bit. That's why I made some changes. To summarize this episode, the dyno session ran out smoothly, except for the overflowing water. Lucky for me, it's not a head gasket, man. I am all geared up to rip this thing apart, man. Whew. Wow. All right. I hope you guys like the episodes about this G23BK project build. I have enjoyed the most of it. Yeah, it's quite a bit of a task for me. It's a challenge. How lucky are we that you can buy just about every parts that you need for building a H2B project. But unlike me, I had to restart everything again. I really have to give them an appreciation on what the creator of the 3 H22 swaps that you could do on a Civic. H2B, the Bro Performance, and the H22 full swap. When I was building this, that's when I thought, man, those guys really went through everything on this one. Because I basically did just about everything what they have done. And yeah, I really want to thank them. The H22 full swap, I took their creations for having a power steering space. The H2B setup, I used their idea of using a plate. The Bro Performance, I used his idea to get that motor sit how it is, normal. Yeah, you gotta give them an appreciation. Big shout out to those guys that took their time, their energy to use the Honda's oldest big block, which is the H22 and the F-Series, to stuff it on a little chassis like this. And this is where I close up this episode. Thank you all for watching. That's with the engine running, no bubbles. Lucky for me, man. Whew. All right, that's good.